at a new series on Does God Care? Now we know that God is big, God is powerful, that God created the earth, but does he care about the small things and the big things in our lives? When we drop our phone and realise it's all cracked and smashed up, does God care about that detail? When your car breaks down, does God care about that detail? We live in challenging times, financial crisis, Ukraine war, global warming, but we trust in a God who isn't just caring about the beginning of the universe, but about you and me now. Does God care? The answer is always yes. He is a loving Father, the creator of the world and a caring Saviour. To find out more, we're going to go back to the very beginning by starting with Genesis. The amazing thing about the Bible is that it takes us back to the dawn of time. It's like a portal where it starts from nothing, goes into everything. Genesis. Is this still relevant? Does this help us get to know our modern world? Here are some tips about reading ancient texts. Now, Genesis is more about the why than the how. Now, it's a great question, but maybe we're asking the wrong person. Wonder if you've ever been in a shop and you've asked a shop assistant, how much is this item? Or does this come in another size? Only to find that actually that person doesn't even work in the shop. It's not the wrong question, but you're asking the wrong person. Some of our how questions might be, how old is the world? How does plants and photosynthesis work? How do animals evolve? And actually we can look to scientists for quite a lot of these answers. But Genesis starts to help us understand why. Why was the earth formed? Why is this a beautiful yet broken place? Why are we here? Scientists can tell you how to make a great coffee. That is good. Scientists can tell us how to make a great coffee, but scientists can't tell me why I want my coffee like this. That's because we're using beans that a friend has roasted and we love being able to support our friends. It's decaf because I'm pregnant and I can't have much caffeine, and also it's got oat milk in because I think it's better for the environment, and that is my preference. You see, Genesis was written for us, but not actually to us. Not for us yesterday, not for us in the UK. The context is really important. You know what? We can make sense of text when we read it in the right context. Our ancestors and history can tell us a lot about ourselves and where we've come from. What kind of line of ancestry are we with? I love looking at some of these photos and finding out more about what I was like when I was younger. Check that out. But we can go even further than that, and our origin starts from God. He's our loving Father. He intended you to be here. He loves you. You are his creation, and he puts value on you. The Bible is like a really good movie. God is the main character, and he reveals himself throughout the whole of the film as we get to know him. But also a film that has lots of kind of threads throughout that maybe don't make sense when we first see them, but when we get to the end, we're like, that makes sense. And when we rewind all the way back to the beginning, maybe we watch it again, we start to just see those subtle hints throughout the whole thing. God isn't a lonely figure in the skies. We are here because God is love.
God is our maker. He cares about the world. I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but he was the original designer. He had an idea and turned it into reality. He loves making things. Now, I don't know about you, but I quite enjoy making things, getting creative. And I made this a couple of years ago. We went to a blacksmith place and I made this candle holder out of a rod of metal. I put it in the kiln, super hot. I smashed it out, I bent it round, I even twisted this little bit, welded it on. It took me a long time, and you know what, I'm fairly protective over it. If someone was a bit mean, I would be a bit rude back to them. I love it. And you know what, it goes to show that time and effort makes you care about things. And that is just the same about God and his universe. God feels and loves our world because it's come from him. He made it, he loves it. And when he saw humans, he said, it is good. It is very good. His love for this world is just extraordinary because it came out of him and out of his ideas. God cares about his beautiful earth. But we all know that actually, through what we have done, this world doesn't quite look as beautiful as it did when God made it. Brokenness, hate, war, crime. The world is broken, yet God still cares. He cares about his creation. In Genesis 1:2 it says, "Now the earth was formed and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters." Notice the state of things. Things were formless and empty. Then the Spirit of God came and hovered and intervened. Rather than pulling back and seeing the chaos of the world, he comes and restores, because this is his creation. And we see that time and time again with us. We sin, we mess up, we choose the wrong things, we maybe even choose them on purpose. And yet Jesus comes and helps us in our mess. There are so many characters in the Old Testament where they choose the wrong direction, choose the wrong path, yet God still intervenes and helps them in their chaos. And the cross is an incredible picture, once and for all, where Jesus takes all of our sin, all of our mess, all of the dirt of our lives and says, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to enter in and help you sort out this mess so that we can live completely different lives.
Hey, thanks so much for watching KingsGate Youth here on YouTube. Make sure you like the video, maybe leave us a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. If you can't get enough KingsGate Youth, why not follow us on Instagram and TikTok at kingsgate.youth. We'll catch you in the comments.